tender spirit, gentle nature, full of love, knowledge, wisdom, and a great sense. He has the highest sensitivity for truth, balance, beauty, and spiritual progress. His life is controlled, refined, and exalted, and his perspectives are very far. His entire sense is magnanimous, and beauty expresses itself in his plain life, full of spiritual dignity. His inner stillness brings a beauty that no artist can paint and no poet may describe in words. Semye's teachings recorded in OM include a section which has also been published with an English translation on the FIGU website as the Introduction to the Spiritual Teachings, www.figa.org/us/example_translation.htm, and which any interested reader should read as a priority. Quite a lot of what is presented by the Prophet of the New Time sounds like it comes from the figure we know as Jmanul. But, as the current Prophet's spirit form was incarnated as Jmanul, as well as others, this similarity is really only reasonable. Semyes has the following to say about the timelessness of the teachings, as is relayed in the German version of the early contact notes. From the Ninth Contact, 21 March 1975. If Jmanul brought the teaching of knowledge and the wisdom 2,000 years ago, then he can only do that in the same word sense as that was done already 10,000 years before him. And if I speak in the current time regarding the teaching of knowledge and wisdom, then I can do that again only in the same word sense as this was already taught by Jmanul, and from all teachers before him. If, hence, my words ring the same way with those from Jmanul, then the logical recognition to draw is that the teaching would not be changed. The truth always remains the same for all times. Subsequently, it also has the identical ring millions of years away. Also, if it is said with other words. I should also mention that much of the other information and teaching provided with the cooperation of Edward Meyer has come from two advanced spirit we forms, who are beyond time and space, and thus, so are their perspectives. This is further reason for the apparent timelessness and similarity of the spiritual teachings over the ages. For instance, the we form, known as Bethel, which has delivered the 12 commandments again, is the highest level of consciousness a spirit can attain before merging again with creation. The OM contains psalms, warnings, appeals, admonitions, teachings about marriage, sexual relationships, correctional measures, and many other things, including, of course, a canon devoted to how creation came into existence. In the beginning was the egg form of the creation spiral, brought forth through the idea of the original creation. The creation spiral was spiritual original form, tiny, and only the size of a flea. But in the spiral rotated and pulsed the spirit energy form of the emerging creation, forceful and willed towards expanding. The energy form grew and became a ball of power and exploded in blazing lightning fire. Zohar between the countless universes of the absolute space. In the Talmud Jmanul, Zohar is defined as the radiant splendor of spiritual creational energy. The teachings of OM are for all humanity and do not raise one race into a special position above the rest. But the prophets recognize the truth that the creation is unifying in all and that it pulls in front no kind of race as something special, nor does it pay attention to a nationality. And do not despise the old and not the young, and not the injured on the body, and do not despise the neighbor who speaks another language or who has another skin color, because every human is equivalent to the other, whichever kind or race he also always is, and whether he is old or young, yellow, black, or brown or white, or red or blue, and whether he is a child, a woman or man, and whether he is an enemy or friend, or righteous, unrighteous, knowledgeable or ignorant. Perhaps most importantly, these teachings stress that we seek understanding and truth, knowledge, wisdom, and love through our own efforts and reasonable logic, not through belief. Because who will not comprehend the truth with his understanding, but only with his belief, cannot harvest the fruit from it. And so speaks the Ishwish, truly those who recognize the book of the words of the truth, as such, know it as they know their own child. But any which do not recognize the truth of the words, they ruin their life, and they are unrighteous and liars in the matter of life. And therefore you lie and dispute that the text of the words of the truth in the current time, the new time, are sent down another time to the human of the earth. And truly you do this because you are imprisoned through your false teaching that you name religion. In the OM introduction, Billy Meyer writes, the newly, and for the last time given, unfalsified, form of the OM text should bring the earth human peace, stillness, love, truth, knowledge, logic, wisdom, and righteousness, and therefore the text of the words of the truth should finally, and for all times, be preserved and adhered to, true to its form in truth. This is the sense and the will of everyone who has troubled around the occurrence of the OM. Therewith the earth human can live in his paradise, on the blue planet of the Sol system, named the earth. Whether we recognize these teachings and warnings as the timeless, universal truth or not, we on earth all have good reason to be informed about what these demonstrably real, demonstrably advanced extraterrestrial people, the Pleiadian, have delivered to us, and what it says about them. Even those who insist on condemning this whole matter as a hoax, should really start to fully inform themselves about the monumental subject of their attacks. The JSCHWJSCH is human. The Ishwish is a human, and immeasurably high over him reigns, and is suspended, the creation in the omnipotence of all creation, and there is nothing comparable to the creation in power, knowledge, love and wisdom in the universe. OM Canon 3, verse 14. JHWH equals Ishwish. The introduction to OM, the Book of Books, the Book of Truth, produced by Billy Meyer during the period that the Pleiadian were officially involved in his mission here on Earth, explains that Ishwish expresses the written form of the title JSCHWJSCH, which is a word from Lyrian, one of the Earth's longest forgotten languages. This language was not created on Earth but originated on a far star system and was brought to Earth by space travelers. The word JSCHWJSCH is a title that translates as King of Wisdom. This means that this title was carried by a human who was developed in the highest possible knowledge, interpretations and adherence to the laws and directives of creation. And Ishwish is an absolute model to any who must still be taught, and who have not yet obtained, through their own effort, the level of knowledge, ability, wisdom, love and logic of a King of Wisdom. OM takes several canons to explain in no uncertain terms that the role of the Ishwish is as a teacher and instructor of the people and of the prophet, that he is not a ruler, nor is he all-knowing, and he is certainly not the creator. He tolerates no worship. Adoration, worship and prayer are never appropriate to direct at the Ishwish or to the prophet, but only to creation.